but please continue.
Right. Well, you just named part of any physical theory, which is repeating experiment producing the same results the theory predicts. What I'm saying is that it also requires a mathematical model that does the predictions, right?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, if you're going to do a study 1,000,000 times and it comes out the same 1,000,000 times, it does require mathematical precision, yes.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in any theory, in any physics theory, before you do the experiment, or maybe like you can do the experiment, but before you actually create the theory and complete it and make it an actual scientific theory, you need to have a mathematical model that predicts the results of those experiments, right? That's a necessary thing.
I'm not a physicist, so you please continue.
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? That's where we have the equations come in, and that's why we need them to describe any sort of reality that we are then testing. So my argument, like my premise one, is that you do require mathematical model, and it just it just comes out that all those models require mathematical infinity. They're not. They cannot be.
How do you define mathematical infinity? What does that mean?
All right. Let's say I would go like right now. I'm tempted to go into physics. I'm not like I'm homegrown physicist. I'm not really a physicist. Like I'm not really a scientist. But like there are things like a wave function. And the field of probabilities is infinite.
Oh, okay. And again, I apologize for interrupting you, but I can describe simple physics with third grade math, first grade math. If I have an apple in one hand and an apple in the other, and I put them both together in one hand, I now have two apples. Physics tell us this, and you can do that with first grade math. You don't need all the other stuff. Please continue.
Yeah, but I mean, at the present moment, we do have like theories of like special relativity and quantum mechanics,
which require all the stuff that you're talking about that is clearly out of my wheelhouse. Yeah, go.
But what I'm saying is that this is just a fact, right? That we do require mathematical infinity. It just appears there, and we cannot work without it. We cannot work around it. We have to use it. We have to use Hilbert space, like space with infinite dimensions. We have to use those things in order to predict like the experiments that work with the basic stuff, like the waves, right? Photons.
For now, I'm assuming everything you're saying is absolutely correct. Sure.
Okay. Now, second premise is that this infinity, this thing that we call infinity, does not exist in a real world, in a natural world. We cannot observe it anywhere, just by definition, actually, because we cannot measure infinity. So anything that we can measure is finite. By definition, it's not infinite, right? So we do see this discrepancy. It's not really a discrepancy because we attribute like mathematics and the world of ideas as not something natural. It's something maybe metaphysical or something like the Platonistic worlds, right? And we do understand that our universe is measured in finite. It's discrete, right? It's we have the Planck length. We have like the finite amount of energy, and this is the reality that we live in. Okay, so we have those two concepts. On the other hand, on one hand, we have something that is non-physical, non-natural, and necessary, which is the mathematical infinity. On the other hand, we have our world, which does not, cannot simply include it. And because one depends on the other, we conclude that there is something that is necessary, there is something that is non-physical, and by extension, it is kind of a reality that we cannot measure, but that the reality actually exists.
Okay, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to give you one more minute because I would like my good friend John Malincrot to comment on what you're saying, because he was a professor of physics for 25 years. But
amazing. That's
go ahead.
I want something to engage with this argument. Basically, I'm done. I was
gonna say, what is your point, or that you're trying to get to? Because I don't understand it.
The point was there's something that I stated in the beginning, that there exists a non-physical necessary reality. Again.
All right.
Okay.
Fair enough. And I want to go to, I know I'm skipping the line, but I want to go to John Malencrop, because he was a professor of physics for 25 years. John, is that last statement true?
Well, I don't know if it's true. I didn't hear enough, I think, to really understand the entire flavor. So maybe let's make a couple of quick comments, and if we need to go on, we can do that. I was just going to say, I mean, one of the things that I have kind of come to as a result of interacting with people on Clubhouse, especially religious types, and thinking about what our core beliefs are, is that I believe that to be a scientist, you have to believe at some level in the existence of an objective reality. That doesn't mean anything that we can ever necessarily understand. We can't know what that objective reality is, but it has to exist because we depend on we depend on the idea that when we set things up in some way, the same thing will happen. And that has to be the result of the fact that there are rules. We have things that we call laws, etc. They may or may not be true, but there must be laws. If there weren't laws, we couldn't do science. We couldn't depend on things happening. So, but that's about an objective, physical reality. And I think, was it Bells, whoever it was, was talking maybe about a non-physical reality. So I'll just end there.
That's basically the argument. You said it absolutely correctly. The objective world cannot be physical in a sense, because it will require infinities, right? Because we see that in all our models that we build in mathematics, we do require infinities. And since we do not observe them in the natural world, this objective reality must have them, right?
You're saying they require infinities? Is that what you were saying?
Mathematical infinities, yes.
Oh, well, I guess I'm not sure why you would focus necessarily on that. There are these problems of infinities in quantum mechanics, etc. But I think more, I wouldn't call the objective reality I'm talking about non-physical. I just mean that there's no obvious way that we can ever know what it is. It's possible that the quantum mechanics and relativity are exactly right, that really is what reality is, but it seems very unlikely to me that that's the case. At the best, it's some kind of a good approximation, and we can never know, right? Even if relativity and quantum mechanics never end up making a mistake, which they haven't so far, that won't mean that they're right. But I don't carry that. I don't think of that as meaning that the objective reality isn't physical, just that it's inaccessible.
What do you mean inaccessible? I'm trying to understand.
All right.
Well, inaccessible in the sense that, general relativity has curved space-time, etc. Is space-time really curved? Oh, I doubt it. I don't know. That's just a mathematical model that we carry around in our head that maps onto the real world really well. We do experiments, we make predictions.
Stuff,
they turn out to be right. Sorry?
I can predict stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And it does a really good job. As far as we know, quantum mechanics and relativity have never made a wrong prediction. I shouldn't say as far as we know. They haven't. They've never made a wrong prediction. But that doesn't mean they never will. They might be not quite right. Maybe there's a realm in which we haven't checked them out closely enough yet, etc. Maybe they are right, but that seems very unlikely.
And one of the very first things that John taught me is the purpose of science is not to prove what we already know, but it's to disprove what we think we know. And new on stage is it Jace, and then I think Daniel, but let's also say hello to Cora. Happy Thanksgiving, Cora.
Yes, good morning.
You're still waking up.
Yeah.
We can give you more time. Daniel, have you spoken yet, Daniel? Daniel going once, Daniel going twice. Okay, I know Jays hasn't spoken. Hi, Jays. Happy Thanksgiving, Jays. Jays going once, Jays going twice. Okay, Kareem just came on stage. Hi, Kareem. Happy Thanksgiving. Cannot hear you, Kareem. Kareem going once, Kareem going twice. Okay, state. Meg wants to come up. Meg. Well, Kareem, you might want to back all the way out and come back in. Meg, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Meg, let me set this up. I haven't spoken to you in a while. Meg is my expert when it comes to eating and living a healthy life. Hi, Meg.
Oh, well, you're too kind. You're too kind. Well, yeah, I always say the truth is most medical doctors don't know much about nutrition, the microbiome, food sensitivities, micronutrients, and or all the chemicals and crap in our food supply. And that's where I come in. My name's Magnificent. I'm known as the anti-diet dietitian. And I was put on this earth to change the way you think about food. So, Steve, what are you doing today? What are you and your family? What's everybody doing?
Thank you, and I'm so glad because I've been meaning to ask you a very important question in my life, and I'm going to my brother's house 25 miles away. We're having Thanksgiving with family with about 24 people. That's what I do every year. But Meg, I have a question for you. As you know, I cook a lot at home, and I like to make soup. Now, Meg, when I start my soup with water and fresh vegetables, celery, carrots, onions, and then I mix in a little meat or whatever, or even if I do a vegetable soup, and then I bring it to a boil and I let it simmer for hours, and then it gets nice and thick and it's ready to go. I add salt, pepper, taste, so it tastes good. Here's my question. Does that soup, after I've cooked it for that amount of time, have the same nutrients and is as healthy as if I were to eat the vegetables raw?
Well, no, it wouldn't. But having said that, it still is a healthy choice, right? So we can't dismiss the fact that people are, if you haven't been to the mall or Walmart lately, take a look around. Most people aren't on the thin side if you haven't noticed yet. So, I think we have to pick our battles, and I think that's a great broth, so-called, to start your soup, and then you can add healthy things to it or not. But no, it's not gonna have the same. But I will say too, if you I'm not affiliated with any hydroponics or anything like that, but if you could do a hydroponics at home for some herbs, even if it was a small one, you're going to get the peak nutrient when you pick it right off the vine there.
Yeah, certainly me making my soup and making it for hours is better than opening a can, which has all that chemical crap in it, right?
Right, and the metals and the other thing that could be in your in this process. Well, never mind all the stuff they put in it in the meantime, but it's better for you, absolutely. And so I guess we just, how healthy are we going to be? Are we going to be so healthy we're only eating raw things? And then there's also something called orthorexia, and I don't mean to get too sciencey, but orthorexia is a type of eating disorder where people get obsessed with eating healthy, and that is not healthy either.
Fantastic. Well, like I said, my brother, my sister-in-law normally cook a turkey. Sometimes they cook a ham, and then of course everybody brings a side dish or whatever.
Is that your brother that came on and told us about your girlfriend that wasn't that attractive?
I think that was my brother Mark, and no, this is my brother.
Tell him I said hi, and I said that was
will.
one of the funniest stories I've heard on Club.
Yes, I will. No, this is my brother who is semi-retired. He is a psychologist. He also taught life skills, a professor of life skill studies and psychology. But no, it's not my brother, the attorney, who came on and talked about my girlfriend who was not that attractive. That's right. And by the way, ladies, I'm currently available. So there you go. I very rarely, if at all, use Clubhouse as a place to shoot my shot. I don't do that on Clubhouse, you know. Meg, anything else? So what are you doing? What are you eating?
Well, my husband's behind us, and he said that I didn't answer your question correctly, so we're gonna let him answer. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Jeremy. Hi Jeremy. Happy Thanksgiving. And by the way, let me just say before you start, Meg has said on the show many times that you guys are a mixed marriage in that one of you believes in God and one is an atheist, and you guys have been happily married for a long time.
It was our 15th year anniversary last night to get engaged.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we are a mixed couple in that way, and it's worked out really well for us because we both respect each other's insights on life and spirituality and what's good and what's not good. So it's we make it work, and it hasn't been that hard. And so yeah, thank you for that. And yes, I've heard Meg speak to you guys a lot over the years. And my take on the whole nutrition is that if you're gonna put chicken or vegetables into a soup and make a broth or a stew, that you are going to lose some of those nutrients and proteins because the heat's going to denature the DNA molecules that make up a protein, which are good for you. So and again, I think that's also goes for the same for the vegetables. Like you can break down a vitamin or a mineral by introducing it to heat. Not all of it. It's not going to seep into the broth, but it is going to be denatured to an extent. So a soup with vegetables might not be nearly as nutritious for you as a fresh salad, but both are good choices.
Thank you.
I stand corrected.
Very good. I want to go to John Malincrot. John, can you unmute for a moment? John Malincrot, are you there? You're away. It seems like he's away.
I'm here. Yeah.
John, are you going to be hanging out for like 15 minutes? 15 minutes?
Probably. Yep.
Can you run the room for about 15 minutes while I step away?
You know I'm not very good at this, but I'll give it my best.
John, as long as people are not insulting each other and as close as possible as one at a time, go for it, buddy.
All right. So does anybody have anything to say? Is anybody trying to come up? Let's see if we got Cora's a mod too. Good. Okay. I'm not doing this all by myself. So what's happening? I'm making stuffing for Thanksgiving. Anybody making anything?
I get to show up at a Friendsgiving and not have to do a darn thing.
Don't have to do anything. Oh man, I'm going to a friend's too, but everybody has to do something.
Yeah, you should bring something.
I'm making leek and what is it? Well, leek and celery stuffing. It's a New York Times thing that gets rave reviews, so I'm hoping I'm very helpful.
Leeks are underrated. People need to use more leeks.
I think so too. My wife and I were both saying that last night. She's always been scared of leeks because of the sand and stuff in them, but it's pretty easily dealt with. And they really, man, I tell you, leeks and garlic. Starts out with butter, olive oil, leeks, and garlic, and that is a smell to send anybody to heaven. An aroma, I guess I should say, right? It's not smell when you're cooking.
Well, it's like one of the things I think a lot of Americans don't figure out that the French have figured out a lot. Is that they will alter their alliums for certain purposes. So the shallots are good for some things, leeks are good for some things, and onions are good for other things. Like we just tend to put onion in everything.
Yeah, I think that's right, and it is kind of because all those other things are just a little too subtle, right? I mean, the onions just go all the way to the edge, and that's what we're always looking for.
One of the best easy salad dressings you could do is just render some bacon and soften some shallots in it, and just deglaze the pan with a little bit of vinegar. Put that straight warm onto your salad. It's so good. It's crazy.
The thing I wasn't quite clear on is where to stop on the leeks for, because you got the leaves, which are good for broth, but at some point you want to stop chopping because things get a little tough. So I might have stopped a little too early.
I tend to stop right where the light green part ends, and then
Okay.
you could save the top, the darker green bits, like kind of where it starts splitting. You know.
Yep. Well, that's what I did. I just
Yeah.
thought maybe I stopped too early.
And you can save the tops for like stock and stuff, but yeah, I usually, yeah, leeks are good. Now I'm like thinking, I want leeks now, because like one of the cool things you can do is like, just like make a leek gratin where you just like kind of like put them in like 1.5 to 2 inch pieces and like stand them up like little soldiers in a gratin casserole, and then just throw some cheese and cream on there and roast them. It's just like, oh my gosh, so good.
So so you don't chop them into like half moons or something to do that?
No, you just big chunks of leek. like,
And as long as you don't go up too far, you don't get much sand in there or something, because that's the big thing.
oh yeah, the sand is I don't know. I've never really had an issue with that, but I just yeah. You just gotta rinse the hell out of them when they're like that. So.
Well, I was looking for a new turkey stuffing dressing, I guess you call it, when it doesn't go in the bird, recipe this year, because I realized that the dressings that I've been making last few years didn't have any celery in them, and I've gotten really fond of celery over the last year.
That's
So
the best part of the dressing.
It is. I mean, I can't believe I've never done it.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. I like making oyster dressing too, though.
Oh.
But that's just because I'm a coast girl. So.
Well, one day I want to put chestnuts in there, but I don't even know if I'd recognize a chestnut if I saw one.
Oh yeah, just go to I have like Ukrainian markets all around me. You can just get jars of chestnuts.
Well, I think I did see them. I was in Italy earlier this month, and they do seem to have chestnuts over there, but I still don't really. I mean, so I saw them, but they still didn't make an impression. Anyway, any other cooking stories? Anybody have decided we're emptying the audience here? Nobody wants to cook, I think.
I have no one to cook for right now, so I'm just like, other than myself, so I'm not gonna make any Herculean efforts. I used to, when I was still with my boyfriend, we would have Canadian Thanksgiving, in which I would make all of the Canadian things that he wanted to eat, like butter tarts and back bacon and all that other stuff. That's in like October. And then we would have usually a roast chicken on American Thanksgiving, and then prime rib for Christmas time. So
no Canadian bacon pizzas.
Well, that's what back bacon is, but yeah, it's like most people haven't had real Canadian bacon. It's funny. It's like the ham that we put on pizza isn't really Canadian bacon. Like back bacon's like cured pork loin that's had the outside of it dried in either pea meal or cornmeal. So.
All right. So today, what I'm gonna do, I'm getting a 45-day dry aged steak, like a beef steak of Florentine. I'm gonna cook it over embers from a fire I'm gonna make myself. Then white asparagus with duck fat. Probably those chanterelle mushrooms. That was they're called. It's expensive mushrooms.
Mm-hmm. They have them at Costco right now. You can get like a pound for $9. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to Italy, which is like this. I don't know if you've been there. I think the first one was in New York City, but there's a big one here in like the Wilshire district. Giant Italian market. They have like all that stuff. So
nice.
It's a little more pricey there. It's not going to be Costco prices, but
I think those tomahawk steaks, those like big Italian tomahawk steaks, they raise those actually right outside Portland, like near the river. They have those particular cows up here.
unfortunately, it's a different species than what we. Like in Italy, they use like a different cow. I think it's all Angus here, or crossbred.
No, they have the real like the big bony white cows, the crazy ones.
Yeah, oh, they do.
They those up here in Oregon. Yeah, they're raising them. It's crazy.
So, James, you sound like Roivas.
I don't think mod is used. I would never say that. Oh my god. You know, I really
I
set
see that you-
people off. I've noticed that, and you know, but not today. Today's a holiday. You know,
Okay.
sharing food with the Indians. All about it. I mean,
A very righteous thing to say. Uh-oh, dead air. Steve's gonna fire me.
Oh.
Welcome to the stage, Daniel, Jace, John, Cora. I just want to thank you to the Mod Squad and all of Clubhouse.
Nicely done, Sam. Take over.
Oh.
On top of the
I
hour,
saw
we got
Silas on there
Columbus.
for a second, but then she disappeared. So, I don't have anything. My life has been taken over by boring crap right now, so I'm sorry I'm not that interesting. So,
Yeah.
All right, Daniel, let's hear your fresh five. About
yeah, Daniel,
Hey,
Wake up.
Minutes.
wake up. Daniel.
Daniel said,
Daniel Darrow.
good news.
come on.
Daniel said,
Oh,
We could do the, I had a friend that had memorized the whole monologue for Alice's Restaurant, and that was like our Thanksgiving tradition. Was he would get up with his guitar and like do the entire freaking monologue and play Alice's Restaurant. It was great.
I used to do it. Close enough.
I think every Thanksgiving moment in it where someone stands up and says, "I want to kill."
Over there on the Group W bench.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to tickle. Just want to ride my motorcycle. I don't want to die.
So we have a young friend staying with us who was just professing her love of the Stray Kids. Anybody know the Stray Kids? I don't know them, but I'm gonna have to. It's apparently
No.
a K-pop group.
Oh wow.
And she's quite a good musician singer. So I'm tempted to think there may be some reason to look into them. But Corey, you ought to come down. We're going down the street to our. I don't know if you know. So I have a sort of daughter, Claire, who's in
Oh, yeah.
our house down the street.
The one that Benjamin glommed on.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. And she and her husband throw amazing parties. So we're going down. I think they got 20 people coming over for Thanksgiving. That's why everybody has to add in. They've been. I think they've just gotten their kitchen remodeled as of hopefully finished yesterday. Because it's a relatively tiny little place, and they just they do amazing foodie kinds of things.
Yeah, we have to make the rounds this summer with.
Get to the stage. Hey, Andrew, guess what you got for us today? You got a fresh five.
Yeah, Andrika's take it away.
I'm gonna have to make the rounds to all the pool parties this summer with my new boobs.
Sorry guys, jump in the shower. I'll be back.
Will they be bigger?
Oh God, no! Please no. No, I'm actually quite excited to lose about a third of the volume.
Yeah, I hope that goes. When is that all happening, Cora?
sometime in December. I don't know. I'm not on the
right up.
schedule yet, but it has to happen before the end of the year. I just got. They took my biopsy and like genetically sequenced the cancer cells and came back with a result that says I don't have to have chemo before surgery. So now I'm getting surgery before the end of the year. So yay.
Yeah. I hope that all goes well. Here goes Steve.
And the restaurant. But Alice's Restaurant is not the name of the restaurant, that's just the name of the song. That's why I call the song Alice's Restaurant. You can get
Fucking faggots always trying to fuck with my copyright.
Not to be on 2K for the day either. You need to leave that game on. Like your ass both nuts. Hold on, somebody
So to turn up the volume.
that is good is God. Whatever goodness we experience in this life is truly a taste of God, for it is God.
land was made.
Thank you. This land is your land. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
He wrote the whole Columbia River songbook too, and was living out of an apartment about a half a mile from my house down by
the river.
neighborhood.
Well, how cool are you?
I wasn't even alive then. Wouldn't have nothing to do with me.
Oh,
Forget it. I'm just eating a can of Hormel chili today. That's what I'm doing. Fuck all this.
nice.
That's funny.
With or without
You're not.
beans.
You said you're making some badass steak and something else.
Yeah, I'm doing a bistecca Florentina. Yeah. It's probably gonna cost like $150 just for the stupid steak. I swear to God, it gets more and more every. And I have to not mess it up. That's the fun part.
That's like Wagyu price.
Well, yeah, it's because it's aged for 45 days. I think that's also the reason. And it should weigh like like a kilogram. I forget. It's like 2 inches thick. It's pretty, it's pretty great.
What do you bake that? I mean, how do you?
You do it the Italian way. You do it right over some coals, just some kind of grating, and I use embers from a fire I make myself. I don't trust like stored mesquite or briquettes. The embers are the way to go. It's more even, not as intense, and
No. The Italian way, no. The Italian way is trying to go into the kitchen where it's being done and being chased down and yelled at by a bunch of Italian, aunts and mamas and.
Yeah, right. Well, it was like shorts on Instagram where it's like, I'm gonna break my pasta in half in front of my Italian husband, so he freaks out, or whatever. What's the other one like? The guy that cuts the prosciutto wrong, in front of his grandpa, is praying to Mother Mary. And don't mix onions and garlic. It's not the way the Italians do it.
Yeah,
But it
I never
tastes
did
so
that before.
good.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it tastes so good. Please go ahead.
Well,
I
to them, it's like,
found that out for the first time by watching that one clip with the American lady that was cooking, and then that really pretentious Italian chef guy comes on there and says, "Oh, we don't do it that way. We don't mix the turkey." I had no idea that.
Nauseous.
That was the same guy that had a hilarious video with the British on TV saying adulterating some pure Italian recipe. He's like, and my grandmother had real union.
So, yeah, you don't add anything. Fucking this bone, man. Okay, you don't add anything to it. You just cook it on the fire, enough to fuck with embers for me. And then when you're done, I said you drizzle nice lavagna and some coarse salt, and that's it. Is that not overthink it? It's perfect.
No, trying to explain that to people that like if you get a good cut of meat or like a really beautifully like sun ripened tomato, don't put anything on it but salt and pepper maybe. Like that's it. It tastes good on patrol.
Yeah, at the end, you slice it, like I said, you put drizzle olive oil on it, and some coarse salt.
I agree. Salt, pepper, butter, rosemary.
Too much, Jason. Not for this one. No.
You fucked it up.
Yeah, it's not this one. If you're doing like a normal, like a filet mignon or something, sure. Or your strip, put some thyme in there, olive oil first, and then I'll add enough. And then, or sage is even better. Fuck that rosemary. Sage, like butter fried sage is amazing. But yeah, it's a different.
Yeah, stay away from thyme because too many people are allergic to it.
Actually, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Since we're on a folk music trip, I guess this morning.
Well, let's change it up a little. We'll go from folk music to a teenager called, and JCC will tell me if I'm mispronouncing this, Carolina Prosecco. Oh no, go ahead. Play your guitar. That's better.
Sorry. I didn't even realize I was unmuted. I was trying to remember how that goes, so I'll work on it. Maybe later.
What tune is that?
Oh, let's see if you get it. Can you not hear it?
I didn't hear the lead, but yeah, I heard the guitar. What did you say, sir? You believe it was what?
Oh, Scarborough Fair.
Oh, Scarborough Fair. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Have you been Scarborough?
Are you capoed at the 7th fret, John?
No, in fact, it's funny you say that because
Do you have a capo, John? Do you have a capo?
I do. I'm not going to go up 7, but let me do it up here.
And here's the thing. I know that if you go up to 7, you have to tune it a little bit, but try and go up. There you go.
What is it?
Pretty damn close, John. Pretty damn close.
Yeah, that register makes it much more identifiable for you.
Yeah. He plays it out at the 7th fret. Yeah.
Any of you clowns going to the Scarborough Fair today?
Not bad, John.
Yeah, not bad. I haven't played that for a while. I wasn't sure I even remember the pattern.
Yeah. It's a fun, simple little riff.
Yeah,
I was
it's
going to bust
beautiful.
you just a little bit, John. My
So nice to have the album.
Yeah. I knew it sounded familiar, but I couldn't.
But I was trying to remember that ending was.
It's on the A string, and it's a walk down from
Yeah.
C.
Not bad for a piano player.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
They didn't publicly state it was a private conversation. All the documents out in have been declassified.
Wasn't a private conversation. This was a public statement, right? By foreign ministers.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. People make public statements all the time, Luca. And what universe are you in that you think a public statement by an official is a promise that is a treaty?
Listen, Marco Rubio makes
argument I had with my husband back then, and he was bringing up the same argument that, you know, it's an official claiming something. I was like, it's not a treaty. Like, I had this exact conversation with him.
Was that why you gave me hard choice?
And I think it's like a Muslim, pro-Russian point that they all have. So,
Well, I mean, it reminds me of how Palestinians argue.
yeah.
They make up their own facts, and then no matter how many times you disprove it, they say, but, and then they make up more facts because they're retards.
It's just part of the broader movement of this kind of anti-imperialism that trying to undermine anything that comes from the West is automatically bad and wrong and lies.
Exactly.
It's just broader part of it. So these people, they're not principled. They're not looking for the truth. It's because it's against what the West says. So then they go against it and take the opposite view. So that's why they will happily side with Russia in this case. I mean, but Rafi, something that I find pretty interesting is that given that Russia has had they have made huge deals with Iran when it comes to these Shahed drones and everything. They have paid Iran loads of money. How can you sit here and defend Russia while they are supporting Iran? I don't get it. Can you answer that question? I'm really curious about that. I'm from
Family tradition.
Well, first of all, that's a stupid question. I'll tell you why. Because in a place like Russia, or let's say you're Chinese, or any other, again, we're not going to cite them because they don't share the same Western values. But where do you expect Russia to get it from? America's not going to sell them drones, correct?
No, but that wasn't his question. His question is, how can you support Russia when they're enriching Iran?
Israel. They're in a war. Do they have an option? They need these drones. If they're not going to get them from one place, somebody's not going to sell it to them one place. They're going to go, I understand that's our enemy. I'm not happy about it, but Russia's put in that position. You can't say that. Russia's put in that position to buy it from them.
So you're defending Russia here.
I'm not, again, I'm not happy. I told you I'm not happy. You're not listening.
Isn't it a just war, Rafi?
But it's a war at the end of the day.
From Rafi's perspective,
Seriously, Sean retarded right now.
Rafi, are Russia in the wrong? Russia, Rafi, is Russia in the wrong?
Okay, before you answer, I just want to say, no, I'm not holding on. This is my room.
Sorry.
I just want to say it's now been 11 minutes since Luca hasn't been able to fabricate the document that he claims exists, that even if he showed it to us, wouldn't matter because it's confirming something from someone that it doesn't make it a treaty, international law, or binding in any way. So hopefully, keep looking on manifesto.com, Luca. You'll find it. Go ahead, Rafi, answer.
I think he left the room.
Oh, even better.
He left for me.
Like immediately
I'm not
yeah.
happy, but it's kind of in a weird place. If they would have went and bought from China, and let's say China was a threat to the U.S., and a person from the U.S. would ask me, are you happy that Russia's buying drones from China? Because Americans aren't happy because they're enriching China, which is a threat to the U.S. So, no, I'm not happy that they're buying from Iran, but they're kind of put in a position that they're going to buy from a country that is probably not going to be a Western-friendly country because they're the only ones that are willing to sell them anything to keep them in this war going. So on which side they're fighting, the good or bad, I'm not here to judge.
No, come on, judge.
I think
This is just war.
This is literally where you have to judge. I mean,
Yeah, literally.
where else
I mean,
is it?
I'm not happy with the fact that they're buying it, but I understand the position that they're in.
No. Get back to the underlying thing. Invasion in 2014 and invasion almost 4 years ago. Was it the right thing to do for Russia?
So, I'm not defending Rafi, I'm explaining Rafi. So, Rafi fundamentally thinks Russia is justified with its aggression, and Rafi obviously also fundamentally wants a strong and safe Israel. Rafi is doing something called compartmentalization, which people who are amoral are more capable of doing than regular people like us. He's a little retarded, but he's our retard. So it is what it is. We're not going to get what we want out of him. Because it is cognitive, what do you call it?
Cognitive dissonance.
Dissonance.
And he's not capable of coming up with an explanation that's elegant enough to try to fix that. But
Love you,
it
Rafi.
is. We can all recognize it. You either pick the Russian justifications or the safety of Israel, and Rafi's not capable of choosing because he loves communism and.
No.
I don't think he loves communism. He loves Russia.
And you will back me up on this. I said they're both pieces of shit, Russia and Ukraine.
Ukraine isn't actually relevant so much in this.
I'm just saying that because you would.
Because Dam's correct. Dam's correct. At the end of the day, by supporting Russia and promoting it or thinking it's justified in any way, you are actually promoting ideas that lead to less safety for Israel and Jews worldwide, because Russia has 7 decades of promoting the hatred of Jews in Israel worldwide. That is cognitive dissonance. Someone who wants to argue with you can call you out. I'm not. I'm just explaining that you are a retard and we love you anyway.
And Rafi, they could both be pieces of shit, Ukraine and Russia, but international law states you really don't want to just invade other countries. It's really not the right thing to do.
And Rafi, I just looked into how much they have traded in billions of dollars since the 24th of February 2022. It's $14 billion that Russia has paid Iran. That's quite a lot of money.
Again, I'm not happy. I will repeat that. I am not happy. But if, again, forget about emotions, forget about Israel right now. The reason, again, I'm not happy that they're enriching Iran, 100%. I'm not happy. I'll repeat it again. But forget about Iran and Israel right now. What is Russia supposed to do in this case? Where are they supposed to get?
No, Rafi, that's valid, right? Like, if you are speaking from the Russian perspective, which of course is the problem, you are speaking from the Russian perspective. Being a Canadian Jew, then you're correct. What else are they going to do but buy weapons from their close ally, Iran? I think what everybody else is asking, and I don't think you're capable of reconciling this, is how, as an American and as a Canadian and as a Jew, can you be so stuck in the Russian perspective that you can't see that, if you support the West and if you support Israel, that your support of Russia is in conflict with your lifestyle.
Or just liberal democracy.
Okay,
we really go down to the bare bones of it.
But is China considered to be a threat to the U.S.? Let's ask you this.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. But you're just moving the goalposts.
I'm not moving the goalposts. So let's say they didn't buy from Iran. They bought from China.
We don't have to say, let's say, Rafi, they are buying from China and they're selling to China.
I understand.
They're also, the more interesting question is actually they're selling to India. And, that's a very interesting question also, but not relevant to you. Moving it to China doesn't change the fundamental problem, which is you support a regime which is anti-Western and anti-Semitic. That's what it boils down to. And yes, we would criticize an American who didn't see that conflict when it comes to China, when it comes to Iran, when it comes to any of the enemies of America. Of course, from a Russian perspective, it makes sense. They're a pariah.
But it's not even make sense. They have no option. What are the other options?
That's fine. They have no option.
That's
Their option is not to invade Ukraine.
You put them in a corner like that.
Right. Their option would be not to invade Ukraine.
Okay.
Fundamental.
So you can say for every other country that was ever in a war, that was their option. Wars are going to happen.
No. So the questions aren't around whether or not Russia should have made the choice they made. I think the question is coming more from the standpoint is how can you, as a beneficiary of the West, living in Canada, you with all your other world views, be so stuck inside the Russian perspective. I think it's a valid criticism. I just don't think.
Again, I'm not
understanding how problematic it is.
No, I understand exactly how problematic it is. Again, I said I'm not happy. But if I have to think about the other side, they had no option.
Well, they had no option.
Which other side?
Like the Russian side. Even forget about Ukraine. Where is Russia capable of getting their weapons prior?
Maybe
to
they
the
stopped the
Ukrainian
war.
We're never
This is just enabling them.
was Russia ever prior to the Ukrainian war was able to get weapons from any NATO country?
Supposedly,
Like,
first-rate military power.
Can they purchase or sell?
No one
They
trusts them.
develop.
Then no one trusts them.
More importantly, Russia always made their own weapons. They didn't try to buy NATO weaponry. All of your points are irrelevant. Like poor Russia, poor Russia, poor Russia.
No, I just
Look, the majority of their defense budget, unlike America, goes into development. The majority of our defense budget goes into training. So, they chose to develop really advanced weapons. They chose not to develop these little things that they're buying from Iran.
To me, it's like saying that, oh, this mass murderer, he doesn't have friends anymore. Poor mass murderer. No one wants to be friends with him. I mean, of course, he's a mass murderer. No one wants to be friends with him.
I mean,
Wilson.
mass murderers might be fun in certain situations.
Yeah, but try to do escape with a
Rafi, if it makes you feel any better, Luca, much bigger retard than you.
Okay, but not but Rafi, I have compassion for your condition, so to speak. So I give you that. But I want to say that your consistency and logic is the sign of actual intelligence and deep comprehension. So, we could play this game where we could just change Putin with the Ayatollah, and you can go ahead and make similar arguments as well, could you not? So, I'm just saying that you have to work on your consistency. You really do, because
again, I don't like both of them. As I told Jeffrey a few weeks ago, I don't mind them killing each other off and then somebody coming in and finishing off the job. Whoever's left, a few here, a few there. And like I said, if there's gangs on the streets of New York or whatever, let the gangs kill each other off before you send the innocent police officers in there to risk their lives.
Rafi, all I can say is they're going to be speaking Polish in Moscow by the end of next year.
literally the point of a social contract is that we give up certain rights so that we can have public safety. I mean, some of these fundamental aspects of just democracy and things like that, you got to really get a better grasp on. I mean, again, let's just, fine. I don't want to get into it. Happy Turkey Day.
Yeah, maybe we get back to the turkey conversation. This is wonderful.
I never did you guys do it on a Thursday. I thought you guys do it on a Friday.
We're whores. We do it every day.
But official.
Maybe the original one was on a Thursday. Maybe the original one was on a Thursday. Who knows?
No. I have a video of the finance minister of Latvia talking about American Thanksgiving was intended to be on Friday.
In a discussion privately held with the Finnish foreign minister.
Correct. Does anyone know that Luca fellow? I'm curious.
No,
Happy
I want to
Thanksgiving.
know where he's from.
Folks, happy Thanksgiving.
Hey,
Thanks for losing.
thanks.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Randy.
fellas.
I wish I did Thanksgiving, man. I really want to bite into a pumpkin pie. I really do.
Good. You can make one.
You got
Well,
cows
we're gonna do a
on
recipe.
I love pumpkins, man. I'm a goat.
You have pumpkin. Okay.
Do they have pumpkins wherever you are?
They got pumpkins.
They call them.
Oh, my favorite. They're sweet with cinnamon. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tree. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Randy, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Randy.
I just put in my big McDonald's order. They have pumpkin pies at McDonald's now, so
Yeah.
They have what? Country fries?
pumpkin pie.
Oh, pumpkin pie.
Deep
I'm
fried.
gonna go to Whole Foods to grab a dessert and see what's up for
Randy, I heard lumpy guys. Am I
me
wrong?
too.
Randy,
Yeah.
are you with child?
I heard lumpy thighs.
I heard big fat thighs.
Yeah. Everyone hears what they have, you know. That was me.
I heard grumpy thighs.
Oh my god, the from.
I heard Humpty dies. No, look,
I heard he's uncircumcised.
oh my god.
Is not cool.
I feel seen. I feel seen right now.
I heard Samson cries.
Oh, baby Samson.
It was pumpkin.
Where's
pie.
Samsung? Is he in the eye? Oh no,
He's
he's
no
not.
Samson. Hello.
No, Samsung, yeah.
I heard sexual cries.
McDonald's should have turkey burgers for this week only. Come on, guys. What is
Now
that?
that capriotti sandwich that Jeff talks about, that one's a good thing to get for today if one is gonna order stuff.
A turkey burger.
I did get a turkey breast
Do you
from
think
the
people
store.
go to McDonald's for Thanksgiving, Randy?
Yeah, and
Yeah, poor people.
No, they order in.
Oh, really? No, I think families go out in some parts of the country.
yeah, there's Thanksgiving dinners at restaurants,
No, I know that. I meant, do they go to McDonald's?
perhaps. I'd like a big fat plate of Chinese food right now, but we can't always get what we want.
Oh, why the heck?
Try sometime.
Always can.
Why not?
McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Roya, you gotta go somewhere?
Yeah.
You gotta go to
I'm
Thanksgiving.
kind of wanting not to, but right now I'm going to Whole Foods to buy a wine or something.
But you gotta go to this real ass fucking dinner with people. Oh God.
I don't want to though.
How
G levels.
No, on the real note, my sister is hosting Thanksgiving, and I'm looking forward to it very much.
Great.
And I'm grateful.
Well, now that Randy's going somewhere, now I have to fucking go somewhere. I thought that was like tacit approval to stay in and not do anything.
I want to stand if that's any help.
Well, you have to go to your mom.
I
You gotta go
know.
bridge
Rachel,
that gap that your wife who should have never created. You know, you gotta go
Wait.
bridge that.
What? Oh.
You gotta go bridge that gap between your
There's a
mom
lot to
and
unpack there, yeah.
Well, yeah, I could. If it's any comfort, I'm not gonna go there. I'll just say,
No bridge and tunnel in your future?
where? What does that mean?
I guess just since she lived in New Jersey, I don't know.
No, my sister, raised family in Connecticut, and then
You're not going to your
So that requires a bridge and a tunnel.
she got a pied a terre in New York City. I thought I told you that.
Pied à terre. Wow, you sound like
She got a pied a terre.
sound like David B.
Is that David B. Jr.?
Yeah, she got a pied a terre in the Upper West Side. So yeah, it's going to be very nearby. Very lucky.
Oh, here's.
Yeah.
Wait, who just dropped in? Oh, dropped out too.
Yeah.
Oh, David
Got a
Love.
terre.
Yeah, shout out to
David was 7 Love.
Gigi, your mom looked great on her B-Day, homie.
Yeah, Gigi. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, if anyone wants, what a pied a terre is, it's it's French. It means footprint, and it's for people who have instead of a country house, it's people in the suburbs who have a small apartment in the city. They call that a pied a terre.
Oh. So are you gonna go or are you not gonna go? I mean.
Yeah, I'm going there. That's where she's hosting, and
Okay.
it's going to be very nice. And I'm grateful. And
Well, you love your nephew, you love your family. So.
oh yes, I do. And I'll just share a story. My mom had a friend. My mom's gone, but she had a friend, and this friend is also like a fellow Holocaust survivor, and his friend is just somehow completely alienated from her son. Her son doesn't talk to her. So I did call her. We did call her, invite her to the Thanksgiving, and hope she's going to come for dessert. And I'm glad I did that. It made me think of my mom. And I invited her for dinner. She said she's doing something with a friend, and the friend wouldn't feel comfortable, so I said, we'll come for dessert. So it did make me think of my mom. And I feel badly for parents who aren't in touch with their kids,
Why are they is it over Israel or?
No.
Oh, okay, because that's dividing a lot of families.
Is it? Yeah, it certainly divided some friends and me. But no, I think it's just deep psychological family shit, trauma from years ago.
Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah, no, my family, it's upsetting to hear about it, though, it is.
Especially a Holocaust survivor who has only one son.
Yeah, so you get it.
Yep.
You get it. That's why it's so poignant, because you know that, it wasn't an easy upbringing, and so it's sad when that's the result. You get it. And the person,
you, Randy, for doing that.
yeah, but listen, I mean, also just as a reminder, kids and parents, it's such a fragile relationship. 1 minute a parent is bringing you up and doing everything for you, and then something can happen and they become non-communicative. It's a very fragile thing. It's just a reminder, that's all I'm saying. It's a reminder to me that, you've got to be mindful of what's happening out there with my kid. I'll just put it on that. I'll just say that, anyway, just sharing.
Okay, baby Randy, I got you.
You know what? I think that all of this language around personal boundaries and toxicity, real love, you sometimes have to kind of push past some of these things and accept people for who they are, especially at 90, 80 something, almost, how old is she? 90 something years old? How old's this woman?
Old enough to know better.
She's 85. She's 85. You would think that her son would be able to forgive her for whatever happened, but I think he's married. I think
just
he's
don't know. So I dare assume.
And while I appreciate the high-mindedness of the thought, I will point out that perhaps there are people in the room who have difficult relationships with their parents, and perhaps have made the very hard decision to establish boundaries. And out of my sensitivity to them, we should not wax eloquently about this, because no one knows anyone else's circumstances. And in fact, we don't know this woman's son's circumstances, and he might be incredibly justified in limiting his exposure to his mother. So it's really nice that you have a good relationship with her. It's nice that your mother was there for her all those years.
Yes, I'm not, I know it could seem like I'm looking for validation or approval. That wasn't, I'm just sharing what's on my mind. That's, yes.
Speechless!
That's fair enough, yeah. We never know.
Yeah.
I'm just, if there's ever the chance, it's good. If there's not, then, of course, understand.
Listen, yeah, I can't imagine what they went through. I know, my parents were, I could get very, detailed. I'll just say I'm grateful, and I'll leave it at that. I'm grateful that I was able to forgive them. Enough said.
Well, hey there, Miss Shirley.
Well, hey, it is good.
Happy Thanksgiving, Miss Shirley.
Happy
How you
Thanksgiving.
doing, ma'am?
I'm doing good, and my comment to this, it is good when you can forgive people. I had a complex father, and sometimes unforgivable things came out of his mouth, and then he did me a favor. He called me one day and said he was sorry. He hadn't realized how wonderful my mother was. It's just like this sentence that made it where I could forgive him. That that complex part. And okay, I think that forgiveness is usually for yourself. Okay, it's for yourself, not for the person.
Gifts, bro. I promise. You guys, you guys, I haven't been back to Whole Foods since my accident.
Shit, an accident.
It is crazy right now. Everybody and their mom is here right now. Yeah.
Bima!
They are for another 90
Bima.
minutes.
Oh my god.
Bima, you gotta
People on Clubhouse because
you gotta join my music club, Bima. I'm very excited about this AI Suno and mixing poetry with it as a form of communication and education and neuro-linguistic programming. I like to read books and read poetry. I know you've got a great ASMR voice, super sexy, super alluring, can bring in all the fishes, all the flies. And so I think, Bima, if you work with me on my EDM trance, aka jazz duets, we don't have to sing because we're not talented enough, but we can create incredible, hypnotic, powerful, and financially viable products to mesmerize, tantalize, and delight the world. So I just want to play you a sample from some music that I've created. I've done about 500-600 songs. This is Persian women chanting to Santur instruments. This is the description. This is what comes out. There is no God but man. One man has the right to live by his own law, to live in the way that he wills to do, to work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when and how he will. Man has the right to eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Free man has the right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw, paint, carve, etch, or mold, build as he will, to dress as he will. For man has the right to love as he will. Take your fill and will of love as you will, and where and with whom he will. Oh, life is one. Five man has the right to kill those who withhold these rights. The slave shall serve. Love is the law. Honor will all life be seven. On the liberty of Alistair Crowley, technical limits of the name of either. Oh, subfigura lufi. Trace like subfigura lufi. Saiba. Order mental after Alistair Crowley. Concordance, Alistair Crowley. Libus, libus, subfigura livi. Alistair Crowley. Libus, libus, subfigura livi. Libus, So this is called The Rights of Man. Many people think they know the laws or the rights of man, but they don't. They've never read it. But this is Aleister Crowley's Rights of Man put into song form on Suno, produced by Candidate John. The Lord is strong. This is our law and the joy of the world. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, all life worthy. Thou hast no right but to do thy will, do and no other shall say nay. Every man and every woman is a star, all life worthy. There is no God but man. One man has the right to live by his own law, to live in the way that he wills to do, to work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when and how he will. Man has the right to eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Free man has the right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw, paint, carve, etch, and mold, build as he will, to dress as he will. For man has the right to love as he will. Take your fill and will of love as you will, when, where, and with whom he will. All life is the one. Five man has the right to kill those who thwart these rights. The slave shall serve. Love is the law. Love under will. All life 57. Ooh, you are here. Hey, Mom.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm not feeling as well as I should be. I'm still dealing with. I don't know if Samantha told you. Probably did, didn't she? I had to go into the hospital because they thought I was having a heart attack.
No.
Yeah, I was in the club and going through my regular Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, and my heart started burning, and I was short breath, and I totally lost energy.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Holy shit, what is this?" So I left. I said, "What do I do? What do I do?" I was very scared, and finally went to urgent care. They EKG'd me. They took you right away. She says, "Do you want to call in? I want to call you an ambulance." Oh, I said, "Don't do that." She says, "I really feel that is my call, but you have to tell me." So I said, "Don't do it." So I left there and I went to this girl's house that lives in this neighborhood who I retired with. And we sat there for about an hour and 20. She gave me gas pills. She gave me hydrating fluid. And then she says, we retired. We each have a medical care. She says, "I'm going to put my sheets back on my bed. You go home, pack a bag, and we're going to emergency." So we did. Took 5 hours, a lot of blood, EKG, 5 hours. I went home, and I'm still not feeling right. I feel lightheaded. My chest is burning. So I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm still nervous. Something's going wrong.
Well, you gotta lay off those green chili peppers.
I don't think that's it. But I have a lot of indigestion. A lot of that, doctor said, lay off the fruits and the vegetables. Take some acidophilus, yogurt for gut health. I don't know. I went out on a walk today and I'm just not feeling the genie power. I feel lightheaded.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I need my thyroid checked, but that wouldn't be my chest burning.
Well,
I don't know.
you're so physical, you're not looking at it from a psychological perspective. Can you hear me?
Well, I am thinking through. I'm trying to think through what could be bringing this upon me. Do I have a gut virus?
You have a brain virus.
Do you think I have a brain virus?
Yeah.
Like what?
It's called compulsive thinking.
Overthinking?
Yeah.
Too much thinking?
Yeah.
Not resting?
It's called compulsive thinking. You need to smoke a joint, open up a Miller High Life, and cook yourself a New York strip with some butter and some thyme, and and enjoy yourself. You're going to the gym, which is great, but you're not 26 years old. You're not 26. You're not 14 years old. You're now approaching the pinnacle. So lay off. You need to basically go with the flow. You're not in the flow.
Yeah, that's probably, that's true. That's true for sure. But I do know this, is my brain is beginning to feel the house,
Yeah.
the maintenance of a house. I'm pushing through with it. I'm not feeling like cleaning up all the piles. I'm not completing putting things away. I'm walking away from it. I say, when it gets real cold out, I'll clean up all the paint cans and the clocks in the kitchen. Yeah, I'm in, I don't know, is it depression? Is it like, am I trying to take a step back from doing all that stuff by not touching it? I don't know.
Well, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion that you're probably not feeding your brain enough intelligence to basically put you into your flow state, which is happiness and joy. Because you have all of the abundance, you should have the corresponding joy with all of the abundance.
I agree with you. I don't have that.
Well, I read books. I got a lot of books here, and so I'm constantly programming myself. I told you I was creating music the other day. What I'm doing is I'm taking poetry and I'm feeding it into this AI music creator, and it's like reading a book, but it creates it into into a song. It's unbelievable. And so I'm just enjoy listening to this incredible music that I'm creating. And unfortunately, you're worried about, your roller pins on the windows and the suicide windows, and it's like you have created yourself a labyrinth or a puzzle box now that is causing you stress. I mean, this place is falling apart, and I have no stress because I don't have anything to lose here, and neither do you. It's just your way of thinking. You have to live in joy with the corresponding abundance that you have. Otherwise, what was the point?
Well, I'm just going to tell you what I'm sitting next to. I'm sitting next to a book called Path to Wealth. Retirement Planning Today. I have a book going, which I realized last night, shit, I've already read this. But I'm going to keep reading it because it might have been one of the first Patterson books I read. And I do remember it, but I don't remember what happened in the end of the story. So I'll keep reading it. I don't know. I'm going to this girl's house today for Thanksgiving. She and I retired together. She lives in my neighborhood. She's the one that took me to emergency. I guess I could use some more socializing. That's for damn fucking sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Well, you're a talker.
But I don't think that's going to make my chest stop burning.
Well, it could, because you know what? You're a talker, and which is called a gabber. You're a gabber. And if the gabber doesn't gab, it builds up in the heart. And so gabbing is like talk therapy. It creates a lot of dopamine. And so basically, that's why I say you have a mind virus, which is basically saying you need more socialization. Which is gabbing.
Yeah.
You're a gabber.
Yeah, I do see people at the health club and people that I've known for a long time, and then it makes me happy to see them, and we gab. And I asked the guy, Fred, he and I retired together too, yesterday at the club. I said, Fred, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? He told me. And then I said, what do you do for socializing? He says, I go to the senior center. I know what they're having for lunch that day, and I'll go the days I want to have what they're having. And then I'll meet people at the table, and I learn about them. They tell me about themselves. And he says it's a great socializing setting. And I live within walking distance of my senior center.
Yeah. Well, you can socialize, but you could also go within. That's the other approach, because socialization.
I think I've been within long enough. I'm a fucking loner to the boner.
Well, that's okay. That's your protective bubble. You can always retreat back within when you want to go on your vacation. It's meditation, and that's why I say you have compulsive thinking, so you may end up, being a hypochondriac and having a panic attack and thinking that you're having a heart attack, and next thing you know, you're going to your neighbor's house for Thanksgiving. I don't know. I spend a lot, I don't have any stress. Do you know what the biggest stress in my life would be? Is having to get on the train every day to go downtown, to sit in a cubicle for 8 hours, to run back here, to worry about everything here, to run back downtown, to sit in a cubicle for 8 hours, to fly to some other cubicle for 8 hours. Like that's taxing on the body. I can go for a walk. I can go to the gym. You don't have any stress. You just have self-induced psychological stress. And so I just want to leave you with a quote from Corinthians, the Bible. You'll like this one. It's one of the best Bible verses. It says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails."
Well, I know what you're saying. I do understand that. But the real world is a harsh place to have to persevere.
I get it, but you've already made it. So what I'm trying to tell you is you're still resisting, and thus you're causing friction for yourself. You need to let go and go with the flow. And basically remember that you are the genie. You have that genie power. You can never lose it because you are genie.
That identifier.
It's just your opinion. See, you are looking for what they call like the spirit or the kundalini, which is energy, and you miss that powerful energy, and so you want that energy, but you didn't lose it. You've just maybe misplaced it, or you're not working on it hard enough, or thinking that's why I say you could have a mind virus, which is basically you are your own worst enemy, and you have no problems. You just have blockages. And your biggest blockage is somebody who says but, or and. I always make fun of people who say but or and. It's like, oh, you're a but and person.
You know what I've caught myself a few times lately, and I said, you don't have to pick that up. You just saw it. That's all. You don't need to pick it up. Let's say it was a thread. You don't have to. Don't do it.
Well,
because I think I'm on still some, I wonder if I'm coming down from being on such a high alert from doing this last house.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's got a lot to do with it. And right now I'm trying to find the landscape person.
See,
and I'm
Mom,
not having trust.
Mom, the whole thing is a metaphor, because you have to find peace in your brain, in your mind. That is the real house, but the house you're living in is causing a conflict, with your peace in your real home, which is your dome. So, let it go. I mean, it will all get fixed as long as the plumbing works. Don't drive yourself crazy. Take it one day at a time, and just live in the moment. You're thinking about 3 weeks from now, 3 years from now, 10 days from now. Just live every day as if it was the last day of your life. But I'm just saying, prioritize, because you have such an overactive mind that it will drive you crazy, because it's like throwing a ball in a bouncy room. Like, it's too much friction for you. You have to slow. You have too much entropy and friction happening. You need to really deeply relax as much as possible all the time, and don't feel any guilt about that, because not only are you a compulsive thinker, you're a compulsive worker. And so you have to learn to live, in your luxury, in your splendor, in your abundance, and really enjoy every morsel, every bite. and stop. That's why I say you have a friction mind virus that you can't control or you're not in control of. You have this like secondary mind that is in control of your primary mind.
Yeah, just this morning I looked up how to strip the top of this teak desk
Mm-hmm.
that I found at the curb, and it was actual teak. It's got 6 drawers. It's fantastic, and so I know exactly where I want to put it. I want to start journaling, so I thought I'll put it right in front of the light window and start writing. So I said, oh yeah, just another project to occupy your brain. And you got all these piles of papers still out. Still got your 5-foot paint table set up. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
I don't know. I'll send you an email. I mean, music is a great one other modality. To deeply relax yourself, because in my opinion, that's the challenge that you will have to face every day, which is how do I deeply relax? How do
I listen to my classical music all day long, and I put my head right into it, and I can hear the different instruments. I could start dancing in my head to the music as if I was in a movie, and I'm the little elf flying around in the room. I can get into it.
Well, then I guess the second thing is how do you have a deep conversation every day with other people or with yourself? Because if you have it with somebody else in the way that we're having it now, that's basically what everybody wants every day.
That's the people I like to commune with.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a number of them. I do. Otherwise, I have no interest in the person. Because if you can't take the time to divulge what's on your mind, and you feel trust with the other person, there's no point if you don't have that feeling. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh. Yeah, that I have I've concluded to that. That's why I don't stick around for long with, and it even includes family members for me. If it's not there, doesn't mean I still have to be around you just because you're my family. You're now an acquaintance of mine.
Well, that's all fine and dandy. The thing is, are you still personable or kind or joyful? Because what we're really talking about is how does Gene Kitover be happy all the time? Like if you could be happy all the time, you would choose that option. But clearly, you're not getting that option or being able to choose it.
Up until sort of this house really took it out of me. Not entirely, but right now something's really got the hold of me. Something.
Yeah, well, that's called psychological. It is a thought, and so what I'm saying is, there's a document that says stop thinking, end your problems, and so you can't seem to stop thinking. Is what I'm trying to point out to you. Stop thinking, end your problems means the more you think and the more you speak about these said problems, the further from the truth you're going to get. You are the ultimate truth, which is the metaphor for your house in your dome, in your brain. And so, as your son, I'm trying to give you my opinion on how to course correct what is clearly become a problem.
Obsessive.
A problem for you because you're not in your flow state. Flow state is the joy state. And obviously everybody wants to be in joy, which is being in love. And so, you may think that your house is the problem, but the problem is your heart, which is, you're not in love, you're not in joy, you're not in flow. And so as your son, I'm just trying to point that out to you so you can find your tools, to essentially achieve what you're looking to achieve.
I did have that male friend who I was sexually hopeful, but he only wanted blowjobs. He didn't use your name, but it was exciting to get dressed up. We would go dancing in public places. In Albuquerque, they have dance outdoors. But it was a negative result because there was no interest on his part of anything other than sort of being his wing woman to go out with and then come over to your house and have a great free meal. But I did miss the aspects of his food consciousness, his mind. He had to always work on being mindful, but he also had psychological. He wasn't sane. He was steady and sturdy for sure, successful, but sane. He had a mental condition. But I missed aspects of that. And it's very hard to find somebody that you can go a long haul with. Very hard. I guess you should know that.
Yeah, but nonetheless, it's still up to you to try to achieve joy. And to me, you have to program yourself with words in order to maintain that joy state. That's why I read books a lot. And, to me, that's a very joyful thing to do. It keeps my spirits up. And I think it's because our brains operate off of words, obviously. And so as your son, I'm just trying to point out that you may be causing yourself all your own problems because you really don't have any problems. You have, in my opinion, you have a compulsive thinking syndrome, which is basically saying stop thinking, end your problems.
I would have to agree with you on that. Isn't that funny? That when I was a kid, I didn't know what my problem was. I could not push and comprehend. I guess it could have been depression.
Well, it's not necessarily depression. Your brain automatically responds to everything. What I'm trying to suggest to you is that you be a little more like a hippie, meaning, oh, I have to go clean that up over there? No, I don't. Or, oh, that phone is ringing? That's just the noise. Because it's up to you to try to choose your path of joy. And so, you can use the word depression, but that's just like saying you're not full of energy. And so I'm just trying to point out that you have to, choose your energy, I guess. Or do, as opposed to say.
It's a mystery to me is how come I can't find joy?
Because you're looking for it in all the wrong places. Joy is ultimately within you, but people are trying to use everything in the whole world to try to find the joy when it's already right in their center, which is their heart, essentially, which is love, love for self. There's a lot of this. I know this woman who passed on, and she was worth $20 million, and she was working her ass off in a retail store that she owned. I said, what are you doing here? Why are you working? You're worth $20 million. You have grandchildren. You're stressing yourself out. You should be at the spa. And she's like, I can't go to the spa. I have too much work to do. And I was like, but you're worth $20 million.
But even if you're worth 20, it's invested. It's kind of sewn up for the time.
No, I'm trying to point out prioritization. Your body and your health is something you can actively monitor minute to minute. But it's up to you to choose what you're doing in regards to how you're treating your body or where if you're at the King Spa for a 12-hour session of just relaxation, well, that's real relaxation. That's a very healthful thing to do. So, you have been grinding your knuckles, fixing and cleaning and perfecting, and that's great. That's great, but it's every moment you can still choose right now to seek your joy.
I did schedule two 1.5 hour massages in December, starting on the 4th. Yeah, I decided I needed that. And it's my birthday treat to myself.
Well, I'm stretching like 4 times a day downstairs on my yoga mats, these nice Thai beds, and I have all the room that I need to fully stretch my huge body. And having that I realize it's like 4 times a day. Every time out of those 4 times, I get the most intense four lower back cracks, crack, 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 4 lower back snaps. It's like, wow, it's like I can do this 4 times a day, and I still get, an intense rotation and spinal column crack. It's like, God, it's like, couldn't even imagine if some people don't even do this once a day, and they don't do this once a day for months and maybe years, and you're like, how do people live like that? Because I get a lot of pain in my body unless I do a lot of physical adjustment every day. I am my own chiropractor.
People say to me, I can't believe that you can put your knees by your ears. The back roll.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get them on the floor anymore, but I'm only about 1.5 inches away from it. And it does, it's addiction. Trying to keep that bendable body in ready mode.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And I'll tell you, I heard it by eating a whole pecan pie already.
Mm-hmm.
The arthritis, holy shit, it came out of eating that pie. I learned that lesson. I just had to have a pecan pie.
Well, it's up to you to be happy. It's up to you, because there's nobody there to really take care of you or protect you or help you. You have to,
that's part of it, John. That is part of the stress, is that it's always you. Where do you find somebody else that you can just snap on to help look after you? You get tired of being at only you. And then I say, oh, maybe I need to move into a 55 plus place. I said, what's the difference if you're in this place or that place? You're by yourself again. You might be around other people, but that's something you have to seek yourself.
Well, if I could give you any strategic advice, if I was your consultant, it's to just remember that you are a but or an and person. And so with that kind of a brain, you have to essentially, stop thinking and your problems, because, it is all about personal responsibility and, being responsible and just taking care of yourself. You don't have any particular dilemmas. You've got an incredible medium and space to work with. You are very fortunate and lucky with everything you have, but ultimately you still have to try to get on the love path, and that's life. If you that's what everybody says, is just get back on the love beam. That's like the hippy dippy way, and that's all I would suggest to you. Happy Thanksgiving.
I remember a time, and it wasn't that long ago, I think it was before this house. This house really took me to right. It was the wrong thing to do. It was the right thing to do, but it was the wrong thing at the age to do. I just have to get back into that thankful, mindful place. And I think it's probably a lot of having to work with a lot of people. And that I don't like. I do not like people anymore because of.
Well, that's friction. There's only one place for friction to come from, and that's really with relationships. Where else does friction come from? It's the only place. So,
Right.
you know,
Need a pet.
you don't need a pet. You need to give you friction, and a dog will give you friction because now your dog is pissing all over the place and being a naughty little dog. I mean, that's life.
Here's a dog story. So this guy on the trail today had this massive, he looked like a bull mastiff actually. Big, really, really overweight. So these two ladies that I see all the time there, she says, he rescued that dog from the pound. And I said, probably because it ate too much. It needed to be fed so much, and it pooped even bigger messes. But he was such like an oversized baby, even though he was a ginormous dog. How do you like that? And somebody fell in love with him. Cute.
Well, you know, I just say like if you can't find a partner, at least you can find intelligence. And then you're with the real companion, which is God, because intelligence and God are definitely synonymous. So, you know,
I agree there.
You know, as your son, I can tell you, you may not have the books I have, but there is joy in poetry. There is joy in books, and it's because it can increase your intelligence. And then you start out thinking the problems that you're even creating for yourself in the way that I've suggested, you know, in my opinions today in our conversation.
Yeah, you make me feel like I'd love a lobotomy.
That might be just what you need.
Yeah.
I mean, not literally, but in figuratively, meaning that you're too compulsive in your thinking. And thus, because you're compulsive in your thinking, you're compulsive in your doing. And then you're creating all this friction for yourself. And the primary friction, again, is with people, because no one can be as annoying as people. This is how we're like birds, in the trees. I mean, it's the buts or the ands, Mom. I'm telling you, you're probably overthinking everything all the time.
I am. I do. Everything.
There you go.
Including flavors. Combinations of flavors.
Well, I don't know. The world, everybody says, oh, the world is changing. It's like, okay, that's your opinion. But I'm just saying, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. I'm all stocked up here. My car wouldn't start, so I had to buy a portable jumper. So I'm about to go downstairs, change out my stickers, jump my car to see if I can get it started, drive it around the block, charge the battery up. But I'm gonna have to take it in next week and get a new battery, and I'll probably have the strut looked at. But anyways, all is well here.
It's cold weather, isn't it? Isn't it cold there?
Yeah, this is I believe gonna be the third battery I've had to put in this stupid car.
Well, the battery gets worn down from here. Batteries wear down because of the heat. In Chicago, it's because of the cold.
I don't think it's just the cold. I put in an alarm and an auto start, so when it's cold out, I can warm the car up. But I think that drains the battery.
Take it off of it.
I can't.
My car gets drained automatically because of the Sirius.
I'm just saying I never should have changed it. I should have just left the car the way it was when I bought it.
Right. Can't you just have it redone?
No, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to get the battery, 1 to 2 more years with this car, and then eventually I'm going to get rid of it. But, it's just maintenance, It's the cost of owning an old vehicle.
Let me tell you, even if I have money, I was like paying my auto insurance, and it's a fucking ginormous money drain being a American citizen.
I know auto and homeowners insurance are basically two taxes on we the people.
Yep. I just paid the property taxes in full. It's like just goddamn bleeding you being alive and owning a home.
I know, and then try to collect, and then you have to get an attorney involved. And so ultimately, it's the attorneys and the doctors that are the biggest recipients of all of of everyone in society. They're the end of the stream, or they are the uphill.
Yeah.
We're just the
Here's
downstream.
a perfect example. I'm in the EKG, getting that EKG. The little nurse, she says, I highly recommend that you listen to me like I was your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm suggesting I call an ambulance for you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I appreciate you, I really do, but I'm in control. And if I think I needed an ambulance, I would definitely give you the go-ahead. But do not call an ambulance for me.
Mm-hmm.
See, she said, what I do is I recommend. That's my profession. And I said, and my control is my guide.
Mm-hmm.
See, I wonder, that was the point where I thought, what is her job? To get me into the system? To start swirling bills around?
Well, she was.
Because I'm not in a critical state here. I said on a 1 to 10, where's my EKG at? She says, I put it at a 3. I said, if it was a 7, 8, or a 9, or a 10, I'd say yeah. But a 3? I don't think so. And
see, you are like the patient playing the doctor, and so these are all buts or and statements. If you were more aware of your communication, you would see from an outside perspective that you're causing a lot of stress and friction for yourself in your communication. And so, the big key word to always remember, Mom, is communication does manifest into your emotions, meaning that, it's your communication probably which needs work and adjustment, in my opinion.
well, I just don't want a $3,000 bill when I'm not in a critical state.
Well, it's like somebody saying, when I die, I'm going to give you, I'm going to make sure you're in my will and get you $5,000. It's like when you're dead, there's no, who cares though? Who cares about your health insurance, your life insurance? Who cares about anything? Because when you're dead, like, none of this stuff exists in that state. So people like to do estate planning and retirement planning, and then they drop dead, and it was like, oh, what was all that for? You see what I'm saying? Like, you are essentially arguing your way into the grave. Like, even before you get buried, you're going to be like, I don't think this is the correct way to do this. Like, that's because of the personality you have. And so, I'm just saying, there's that old expression, you are your own worst enemy, and you have to begin to really try to understand that. Mom, you're causing yourself a lot of problems in your communication, not as in you have any problems, but it's my opinion as your son, is that your communication has and is a persistent problem for you.
Well,
it's an opinion, Mom. It's not a
yeah,
fact.
Of course it is.
It's
And I probably couldn't figure that out until I can't figure shit out anymore. I'm dead.
Well, you can figure out right now that the more you think, the more you speak, the further from the truth you're going to get. You're extremely argumentative. this isn't a courtroom. You're not live streaming in a court, doing defense and offense against and making petitions. Like, it sounds to me like you're constantly in a communication friction.
I would say in a non-trusting, and I live in a non-trusting environment in New Mexico. People can't.
It's the
be
wild,
trusted.
wild west out there. You're dealing with pirates all the time.
With being an older woman, the location of this property, and gray hair, age. So listen, here's a swing of quotes I got for my landscaping. 16,000, 6,000, 2,400. Yeah. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. And it's driving me insane. And I say, I don't give a fuck when it's done. I can look at it. It's been sitting there for the last 6-7 months. It could sit there and I can just move from this house. Let the next fucker fix up that backyard.
Well, I had the guys do everything here for $1,300, I believe, and they built things with the bricks. They cleared everything, made everything so nice. I was like, wow, that was definitely worth, the $1,300. I mean, they laid the brick in the front, and like it was worth. They got that was the good price. Couldn't have gotten any better with those guys. They did a really amazing job. Because I had,
allowed that trust to flow. I have very little trust here. That's part of the thing I dislike about living in New Mexico. And just about everybody says that. If I met somebody that I really could trust, I'd leave here in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Yeah, but that is a but or an and statement. Every time, listen, you're now on my but or and show, and every time I hear a but or an and, I'm going to point out, that you're projecting. Because
you're taking your shit with you.
Good luck. You are a but or an and person. You keep looking for this knight in shining armor to trust, but the truth is that's within you.
I got all the trust in the world in me.
I know, but then you don't have to worry about the trust or finding somebody else to carry, the water with you or for you. I mean...
Right, I gotcha. Yeah. You know where you can trust people? In the nursing home.
No, yeah, right.
Keep you alive.
Yeah, right.
So
are you kidding?
Keep flowing your for you.
Oh, do you know how many people, Mom, are in nursing homes that have absolutely nobody on the outside to even look after them or care for them? They're totally alone. They get abused by these crazy nurses. They get poisoned. They don't get bathed. Like, there's a lot of neglected people because nobody really will love you, and so I'm just saying there's a lot of really sad cases out there, but that's not you. You have your genie spark. It's carried you. How old are you now?
72 in December.
Yeah, so it's within a month you're gonna be 72. I mean, that's a big accomplishment. Like, you've got a great track record. So in my opinion, all your worries or anxieties should be sublimated and disappear because it's all self-induced in a way.
Listen, here's the new one. If I gotta live another 34 years, like Grandma and Grandpa, I want to kill myself by 80.
Well, see, this is a but or an and statement again, and welcome back to your show. This is part of this is why I say you have a communication dilemma. Do I want to be annoying with buts or ands, or do I just want to be in my flow state and enjoy, or do I want to create friction with people? I'm not saying I have any friction with you. It's just my opinion. Again, I'm trying to give you a consultant opinion, so you can say, you know what? My fucking kid is right. I am overthinking everything. I'm just going to shut the fuck up.
Maybe I should start drinking. No. that's absolutely the wrong answer.
Well, no, if you do that, you'll become even more annoying. You know, I've experienced that with you, where then you can't shut up. But if you did that at home in your safe space and you were just on your phone, okay, well then that's a safe space. But you don't want to put yourself at any risk.
Maybe I should go to church on Sunday. I keep on finding an excuse.
Well, this is a but or an and statement again. I will just remind you, we are not what we say we're going to do. We are what we do. And that's life. We are what we do. That's who we are. That's who you are. You know, you did this house. You did that house. You did this job. You did this. You did that. That's who you are. That's who the real you is.
That's my identification. Or remodels.
That's your.
My middle name should be Jeannie Remodel.
Well, that's your medium. That's your art. You have blessed a lot of people with incredible living spaces because of all your work.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they like those modifications I made.
Trust me,
I like this modification project a lot.
There's nothing more important than your house or where your living space. It's because it's basically an expansion or extension of your consciousness. You know.
I agree. You should see the dream I'm coming up with right now. I got this new idea. I have to draw it a couple more times to get it the way I like it. But that's what I'm doing. I'm building a fence for the side yard because I got a $650 rain barrel. It's 100 gallons, and I need to protect that so nobody walks off with it. Because I'm building a welding project in my head. Anyway, how's your bathroom look to you still?
My
what? I did.
Oh, it looks nice. I brought the bunk bed down there. I need to assemble that. Yeah, everything is good here. I mean, you know, not stressed.
Well, that's real good that you've got that accomplished. I know you really put a lot of effort into it.
I take everything a day at a time. I'm not trying to you know, I like it that way. I like going from thought to thought to thought as opposed to going, you know, too far into thoughts. Less is more, and that's what I'm trying to point out to you is that, you know, you're your own worst enemy because you may, again, I think it's just like overthinking.
Well, I try to do the exercise and the correct food, but I'm missing something.
Well, that's why I say, in my opinion, it's always psychological. That's what when somebody says I'm missing something, that means there's something in your brain that you're missing. It's not necessarily in your body. And as your son, I'm trying to fill that void, which you think is missing, but I'm trying to point out it's not missing. It's there. People just forget it or they misplace it, but here it is again.
That's why I wanted to set up that desk in here and start journaling. That is the next accomplishment I want to make. Hopefully, I'll be pouring this abundance that's in my body out on paper and discover where this blockage is.
Well, it goes back to that expression. The more you think, the more you speak, the further from the truth you're going to get. Say it out loud.
The further I think and the further I speak, the further I get away from finding mindfulness, really.
Exactly, because you already have it. That's what I'm trying to point out. You're a but or an and person. You say, oh, I got it, but. No, there's no buts. It's like the movie Star Wars, you know, no try, only do. And Thus,
Well, that is how I live. I don't live with butts. I tackle butts.
well, that's true, but in your communication, your words, your thinking and your speaking, you are a but or an and person. And that causes emotional, physical stress in the body. And so, when you went to the hospital, nobody said, you know what, we're going to do a breathing relaxation exercise with you for 10 minutes. Take the deepest breath of the day.
You didn't get that stuff. I'm going to call you an ambulance. I'm like, no, you're not. You're so far into what you got taken, through medical training. That what I've been doing, I brought this shit on myself through my mind and my physicality. You're learning, and I don't need an ambulance. I can get this shit off my back as soon as I get out of here. I can.
Well, it sounds
time
like
where they do breathing. I do believe in breathing. I do need to have that.
Oh, well, let me just send you these CDs by this guy, Dr. Marty Rossman. It's like, each one is 60 minutes, and he leads you through a guided breathing and visualization exercise. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
No, don't do that. I'll get a DVD and put it in my Bose and sit right there on my living room Oriental rug.
Yeah, do that.
That makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, if you do that once a day, oh my gosh, the benefits from that psychologically are immense. I do it. I told you I'm doing it like 4 times a day while I'm stretching and doing yoga and breathing. Because
I can order that online, right? A DVD.
Yeah, just go on Amazon or eBay and just type in breathing DVD, breathing exercise CD, and buy a bunch of them. Don't just buy one. Just buy like 5 of them.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Thanks for that.
Well, you think yourself and tell me after you do it. Like, here we go with the buts or the ands.
Okay, I will.
Do it.
I will.
All right, happy Thanksgiving, Mom. I'm going to go.
Wait, I want to say one thing. My sister Pat was looking out her window, and she says, oh, look at that. There's 7 turkeys. And 2 of them flew up on my neighbor's roof. I said, turkeys, the kind that you eat? And she says, no, they're wild turkeys. We have a family of them in Loveland, and they just move all around in Loveland.
Yeah. I've seen that in Michigan, Wisconsin. They are vultures.
Oh.
They can be nasty. They can attack you. I'm kind of for taking a shot at some. I mean, it's easy to think that they're pests, but in my opinion, they're probably pests.
I saw 3 sandhill cranes nibbling in this reservoir today, and I said to this man walking, I said, man, we see a lot more sandhill cranes normally. And he thought about it, and he said, could be we're having warmer weather. And I said, yeah, that's a good thought. And I'm looking at my temperature, it's 60 out. So there you go, we are having warmer weather. I hope we don't have hotter summers here. They're hot enough.
Well, I like to say that my mom says that talking about the weather or politics is the lowest form of conversation. But Mom, you have to try to remember, how do I create more peace in my life all the time and right now? And, I hope you have more peace and joy the rest of the year leading up to your birthday.
Thank you, John. Thank you. I hope you said hello to your sister for Thanksgiving. She's entertaining, and it could be stressful for her.
Well, just be thankful that you're not a part of that stress, that you have your peace and your joy right now. Because, that's the whole point. I mean, a lot of people, they get a lot of indigestion from Thanksgiving, from Christmas. They overeat, they argue, they get emotional, they drink too much, and they cause themselves huge health problems at this time of the year. A lot of people croak. A lot of people croak at this time of the year. This is their last party.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the great conversation. It's about the best one I've had with you in a long, long, long time. Thank you.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Senna. You have a good day. Make yourself dinner, will you?
Okay, I got a great dinner. I got wonderful food in my fridge. Have a
I
great
know.
afternoon. Take care. Bye. Love you. Bye. Ribono Shalom. Ribono Shalom.
The whole nature of man presupposes woman, both physically and spiritually. His system is tuned into woman from the start, just as it is prepared for a quite definite world where there is water, light, air, salt, carbohydrates, etc.
Carbohydrates?
The growth of the mind is a widening of the range of consciousness. And each step forward has been a most painful and laborious achievement.
All ordinary expression may be explained causally, but create expression, which is the absolute contrary of ordinary expression, will be forever hidden from human knowledge.
Meaning and design of a problem seem not to lie in its solution, but in our working at it incessantly.
No psychic value can disappear without being replaced by another of equivalent intensity.
In all chaos there is a cosmos, and all disorder a secret order.
You can take away a man's gods, but only to give him others in return.
Reason alone
Does not suffice.
primitive superstition lies just below the surface where no one's
Fight against it, who are to its suggestive effects.
I like that song every time by Cardi B.
to avoid the impression that there is a sort of foreknowledge of the coming series of events.
The whole nature of man presupposes woman. Both physically and spiritually, his system is tuned into woman from the start, just as it is prepared for a quite definite world where there is water, light, air, salt, carbohydrates, etc.
The growth of the mind is a widening of the range of consciousness. And each step forward has been a most painful and laborious achievement.
All ordinary expression may be explained which is the absolute contrary of ordinary expression, will be forever hidden from human knowledge.
The meaning and design of a problem seem not to lie in its solution, but in our working at it incessantly.
No psychic value can disappear without being replaced by another of equivalent intensity.
In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order.
You can take away a man's gods, but only to give him others in return.
Reason alone does not suffice. Primitive superstition lies just below the surface of even the most tough-minded individuals.
And it is precisely those who most fight against it who are the first to succumb to its suggestive effects.
It is sometimes difficult to avoid the impression that there is a sort of foreknowledge of the coming series of events.
The whole nature of man presupposes woman, both physically and spiritually. His system is tuned into woman from the start, just as it is prepared for a quite definite world where there is water, light, air, salt, carbohydrates, and
The growth of the mind is the widening of the range of consciousness. And each step forward has been a most painful and laborious achievement.
all ordinary expression may be explained causally.
But creative expression, which is the absolute contrary of ordinary expression, will be forever hidden from human knowledge.
The meaning and design of a problem seem not to lie in its solution, but in our working at it incessantly.
No psychic value can disappear without being replaced by another of equivalent intensity.
In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order.
You can take away a man's gods, but only to give him others in return. Reason alone does not suffice. Primitive superstition lies just below the surface of even the most tough-minded individuals.
And it is precisely those who most fight against it who are the first to succumb to its suggestive effects.
It is sometimes difficult to avoid the impression that there is a sort of foreknowledge of the coming series
You're
of
weird.
events.
physically and spiritually. His system is tuned into woman from the start, just as it is prepared for a quite definite world where there is water, light, air, salt, carbohydrates, and
The growth of the mind is the widening of the range of consciousness. And each step forward has been a most painful and laborious achievement.
all ordinary expression may be explained causally.
A create expression which is the absolute contrary of ordinary expression
Will be forever hidden
from human knowledge.
The meaning and design of a problem seem not to lie in its solution, but in our working at it incessantly.
No psychic value can disappear without being replaced by another of equivalent intensity.
In all chaos there is a cosmos, and all disorder a secret order.
You can take away a man's gods, but only to give him others in return. Reason alone does not suffice. Primitive superstition lies just below the surface of even the most tough-minded individuals.
And it is precisely those who most fight against it who are the first to succumb to its suggestive effects.
It is sometimes difficult to avoid the impression that there is a sort of foreknowledge of the coming series of events.
The whole nature of man presupposes woman, both physically and spiritually. His system is tuned into woman from the start, just as it is prepared for a quite definite world, where there is water, light, air, salt, carbohydrates, etc.
The growth of the mind is the widening of the range of consciousness, and each step forward has been a most painful and laborious achievement.
All ordinary expression may be explained causally, but create expression, which is the absolute contrary of ordinary expression, will be forever hidden from human knowledge.
The meaning and design of a problem seem not to lie in its solution, but in our working at it incessantly.
No psychic value can disappear without being replaced by another of equivalent intensity.
In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order.
You can take away a man's gods, but only to give him others in return.
Reason alone does not suffice. Primitive superstition lies just below the surface of even the most tough-minded individuals, and it is precisely those who most fight against it who are the first to succumb to its suggestive effects.
It's sometimes difficult to avoid the impression that there is a sort of foreknowledge of the coming series of events. The whole nature of man presupposes woman, both physically and spiritually.
His system is tuned into woman from the start, just as it is prepared for a quite definite world where there is water, light, air, salt,
Carbohydrates, etc.
which is the absolute contrary of ordinary expression, will be forever hidden